one of you on behalf of Bangalore branch for today's study circle on a very important topic, guidelines for advertisement for members in practice. This is a very interesting topic. Most of us want to do the advertisement, but we don't know like what exactly is we can do as per the institute parameters. So today's session will give full details about what is permitted, what is not permitted, how we can increase the advertisement, how we can be more present in the media, social media especially. So we have a very eminent speaker, CA Sana Baqai from New Delhi to present on today's topic, a very highly qualified professional with more than 17 years of experience. We're very pleasant to have you, ma'am, today for session. Hearty welcome to you.
Thank you so much.
So I also welcome our secretary, CA Manjunath Halud, for today's session.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening to everyone.
Yeah, so I request secretary to kindly give the introduction and take it forward.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Good evening, members. I have privilege in introducing today's speaker, CA Sana Baqai, who would be deliberating on the topic guidelines for advertisement for members in practice. Sana Baqai is a dynamic professional with over 17 years of experience as a chartered accountant, a brilliant author and an entrepreneur with excellent leadership qualities, and a versatile lady with a track record of successfully leading teams to execute futuristic projects in tune with the fast-changing times, nurturing exponential growth. This is to just describe Sanaji. Her niche areas of practice are audits, taxation, management consultancy, strategic planning, and leadership with a focus on organizational profitability achievement. She is the senior partner in KYSB and Associates Chartered Accountants in New Delhi. She's a commerce graduate from Delhi University and a qualified chartered accountant, company secretary, and she has done her LLB also, and these are from the ICI. Presently, she is the vice president of the Institute of Internal Auditors, Delhi branch, and also the chairperson of Student Development Committee of IIA India. She is empaneled faculty of ESB of ICAI. With this brief introduction, I present before you CA Sanaji. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the elaborated introduction to the members. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session on guidelines for advertisement for members in practice. Is my screen visible to all?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yes, ma'am.
So while we talk about advertisement for CA, why such kind of restriction, why CA Institute has done that we are not allowed to advertise? Why there are guidelines for the members in practice? Of course, all of us, while studying the Code of Ethics as a compulsory part of auditing and assurance and CA final paper, we have already understood there are 4 schedules of the CA Act, which prescribe certain things, which applies on members and those who are in practice and not in practice, which amounts to misconduct. So Code of Ethics plays a very important role. And as on date, CA Institute has made it mandatory for all the members to attend 2 CPRs for the Code of Ethics. And this topic is really very interesting and close to my heart because it is very tough while you're in practice to understand how to connect with people, how to connect and get the work, especially the younger generation, those who started practice immediately after qualifying or just a year of experience. When they do not have that network, then it is way tough for them to get into it. Advertisement in general is absolutely prohibited. We all are aware about this, that we cannot solicit, we cannot advertise, but yes, there are certain things which we can do. Let's see what we can do and what we cannot. My endeavor is to cover clause 6 and clause 7 of the part 1 of the first schedule. certain advertisement guidelines, which is issued by the council. And most important is the use of the logo. And after that, we'll take up certain questions in this regard. One very important thing, whenever you have any question, please raise your hand or put it in Q&A as and when you find the question. I'll be happy to answer then and there, instead of waiting for all the question to come at a later stage when you actually lost the context. Why CAs are not allowed to advertise? It is prohibited because of the principle that the professional should not command work by his reputation, not by advertising. We should actually showcase to the world that our worth, not just by putting the hoardings or the advertisements, which generally everyone is doing. Even our respected PM said in one of the CA Day program that the CA signature is more powerful than the PM. So keeping in this thing in mind, so just assume what could happen if the chartered accountant start advertising. Something like this. So assume this, if we started advertising, something like this will happen. The reputation of the chartered accountant will definitely go down. Those who are having more money will have a command over others. Let's start with clause 6 of the first schedule. Clause 6 clearly says that a chartered accountant in practice shall be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if he solicits clients or professional work, either directly, indirectly, by any circular, advertisement, personal communication, interview, or any other means. You cannot solicit the work. You cannot ask your clients or anybody to get the work. People should recognize you because of your strength and what you are already doing. Of course, this clause has certain exceptions and certain clarifications that I'll be covering in the next few slides. The proviso to this clause also mentioned that yes, you can request or invite for the professional work from another chartered accountant in practice. What is more important is you can connect with other CA in practice, not otherwise. Only CA in practice can ask for the work from another CA who is also into a practice. That is the exception which is given in this clause. And the one is response to the tender. How we can respond, there is a separate guidelines for that I'll also be covering, which is issued by various departments. There are a lot of organizations, they keep on asking for the empanelments and they float the tenders for the work. So we will see that how we can respond, what are the restrictions on that. This is again subject to certain guidelines. So in general, we are not allowed to solicit the clients for the professional work in any manner, be it directly or indirectly. If we do so, we will be deemed to be the guilty of professional misconduct. And there are certain penalties, etc., depending on the severity, that your name can be struck off, or penalty, it could be with a fine, without fine. So all these things are already there. You understand that. We all earned this membership with all our hard work and nobody wants to lose this. In last few years, CA Institute become very active in deciding the matters, in deciding the applications which is pending before them for disciplinary actions. And I have seen a lot of messages circulating. There are certain websites which shows that every 2-3 months, certain CAs has been debarred from practice. They were held guilty of misconduct and all those things were there. So we should be aware. That's why it is very important for us to understand and follow what is being there. In general, unless there is a complaint, of course, CA Institute can also do this suo motu, but in general, it happens when somebody complains against another. There's some form of solicitation. What solicitation does mean, which has been prohibited by the council. Let's see one by one. Advertisement and notes in the press. If we put some kind of advertisement in press, so what is allowed and what is not allowed? Advertisement and personal canvassing for soliciting work in general is not permitted at all. You cannot advertise, you cannot solicit unless it is solicitation is allowed only for another CA member in practice. Press advertisement. How about that? Can they do so? Can we put press advertisements for us? Is it possible to give press advertisement? Press advertisement is possible in case if you are putting it for any change in your partnership or your address or anything which is required to make people aware and giving the actual facts. But it should not amount to solicitation. So there are certain requirements at times that there's a change in a partnership and you are required to advertise it, give a public notice, and you need to give an advertisement in the newspaper. Yes, it is allowed. But the restriction is the font of this advertisement should be same, the name of the firm, the name of the partners, it should be, everything should be in the similar style. Same font, same style throughout, you are allowed. You should not mention the name of the firm differently or the name of the partners differently. That is not permitted. Next, request other CAs. Can I request other chartered accountants to get the work? Yes, it is allowed, but only you can request to another CA in practice. You cannot ask your CA friends who are doing job somewhere else. Those who are not holding COP. CA in practice, only you can ask another CA firm, another CA colleague where they are working. You can ask for the professional work from them. Classifieds in ICAI journal. Is it allowed? Yes, definitely it is allowed. But it can contain only the name of the chartered accountant, their address, telephone number or fax number, email ID, or the address of their social networking sites. So with this limited information, you can put the classifieds. You can definitely give your experience and area of specialization. If you see any CA journal, there is a classified section which is there, and you can put your advertisement for a price. It is very much permissible. Why it is so? Because CA journal is primarily circulated with all the chartered accountants. Even if you're asking some helps, you're asking for partnership, or you need more partners, you need to do merger, want to join a network, you can advertise through that so that other chartered accountants can know about this. You're not advertising to public at large. Although CA journal is available on the website, but usually the chartered accountants or few people who are having interest in some research or otherwise, they check it. So it is very much permitted. I'll talk about the CA firms who advertise on social media and advertise the foreign firms. Foreign firms are not in control of CA Institute. Only those firms who are registered with ICI, it is permitted for them to advertise, as in these restrictions, etc., will apply only to them. Foreign CA firms are not within this, and they are generally not allowed to even do the attestation function. See, the challenge with the CAs is to maintain the independence, integrity, and objectivity in their function, primarily for the audit and all the attestation function. For consulting and advisory, these firms are not into any kind of attestation or audit function. That's why they can do so. So foreign firms are not registered with ICI. And rather anyone who is doing just the consultancy, those people who are not even CA, those who are into consulting practice, every one of them is out of the scope. The CA Act applies only to its members. We all, as a practicing chartered accountants, are bound to follow the CA Act and the Code of Conduct. Next, what are the exemptions? As we know that advertisement is not allowed, but advertisement for the recruitment of the staff for the members' own office, as in if I need some staff, I want to recruit people, I can definitely do that. Advertisement inserted on behalf of the clients requiring staff or wishing to acquire, dispose of business or property, yes, it is also possible. If I am putting any advertisement on behalf of my client, or the advertisement for sale of a business property, acting in a professional capacity or trustee, liquidator, receiver, I can do so. The restriction over here is that the name of the CA firm should not be highlighted. You can mention your name normally, but not highlighted. So this is one of the examples where somebody is advertised for the vacancy, what they are doing, and they're asking for the different positions. The name of the CA, the name of the company in liquidation, their firm, everything is here. It is in case of e-auctions. So here also name can be published for the liquidator, but if you see, it is not typically highlighted otherwise. It is in the same font and style in which the whole content is. This is very much permitted. So if I make some different styles, maybe in a different font, in something which is just to beautify and catch the attention of the people, yes, that is not permitted. Next is application for empanelment for allotment of audit and other professional work. Can I do the empanelments? Are the CN practices allowed to do empanelments for the professional work? See, there are certain examples which I'm showing on the screen. Expression of interest has been asked for the CA firms or companies who are ranked as the category 1 and 2 by ICAI for empanelment with the board. So Gujarat Water Supply and Sewerage Board, they put an advertisement seeking this. Can I apply? SBI, they were empaneling CA firms for the concurrent audit, or something like this, where it has been asked to give a sealed quotation for empanelment for a government department. So yes, it is permitted. It is allowed to write to the concerned organization with a request to place his name on the panel. We can definitely apply for the empanelment in the form with whatever the procedure has been prescribed by the respective organization. But what is not allowed? We will not be allowed to make any roving inquiries by applying to any such organization for having his name included in such panel. So if I applied and then I keep on chasing that, put my name in the panel, then yes, it is prohibited. It is not proper for the CA to do so. We can definitely apply, but should not make any roving inquiries for other works as well. How about responding to the tenders? Can I do so? The tenders, advertisements, or the circulars which has been published in newspaper. CA definitely can respond to the tenders subject to the guidelines issued. You can do those, you can send the quotation, you can quote the price in those tenders. There is no restriction on that, but it has to be through the individual letters. And CA can respond to the tenders where only technical bid has been asked for, followed by the financial quotation, right? And request from the shortlisted members to individual letter. So where you receive a letter to submit the information, you are allowed to do that. If you are part of that tender where you receive the individual letters for the quotation, there are certain organizations who send you the letter, ask for the quotation, and then you put it there. And they ask for the technical bid. So here's one of the example. They invited tenders in the 2-bid system. They're asking for the technical bid as well as the financial bid. So both kind of bids are required. This is very much possible. We can respond to the tenders. How about EMD? Security deposits. There are certain tenders where you are required to deposit some money while applying for those positions. Is it allowed? So council has not interfered in that rule. You can definitely do that. However, if the EMD is exorbitant, if it is too high, then the CA in practice can approach the CA Institute and ask them to interfere where it is too high or the exorbitant EMD has been asked for. So the purpose of the exorbitant EMD could be that only the big firms can apply the competition, because for CA Institute, all the members are equal. Doesn't matter if they are earning more, they are earning less in their practice. But definitely for the organization, they have their own criteria. That is why they ask for the they have certain limits that you should have this much partners, this much employees. And of course, anybody who's hiring the people can put those restrictions, or they can have their own guidelines for hiring the chartered accountants. You can definitely respond to those where even EMD is also being paid. What the guideline says, these guidelines were issued in 2016, the guidelines for responding to the tender. A member of institute in practice shall not respond to any tender. They shall not, issued by an organization or user of the professional services. in areas of services which are exclusively reserved for chartered accountants, such as audit and attestation services. For audit, we cannot respond to any tender which is reserved for us. For example, if somebody asks for if an organization float a tender for appointment of the tax auditor, are we allowed to respond? Absolutely no. We are not, because tax audit cannot be done by anyone except the chartered accountant. However, you can definitely apply for the empanelment over there. You can apply for the empanelment, be a part of the panel, and if they ask for giving you a code out of those who are empaneled, and they ask you to give your quotation, then you can definitely do that. These restrictions, what has been given in this guidelines, which was issued by the council in 2016, this restriction shall not be applicable where the minimum fee of the assignment is prescribed in the tender. The tender document itself says that yes, the fees should be say 1.5 lakh or 2 lakh, whatever is quoted by the organization based on the scope that they says yes. Otherwise, if we start responding to those tenders, it will be a cost-cutting fight among all the chartered accountants themselves for the services which is reserved for them. And who will take the benefit? The organization. So for audit and attestation functions, we are not allowed to do that. And this restriction will also not apply where it is open to other professionals. For example, if you see, internal audit can be done by anyone. You need not to be a chartered accountant for that. If the invitation has been asked to for the internal auditor, that give us the tender has been floated and it has been advertised for the internal auditor position. So can I do that? Can I respond to that? Yes, definitely, because to be the internal auditor, you need not be a CA. Any professional can be the internal auditor. Even Section 138 of the Companies Act 2013 also says the same thing. The fee quoted by the member should not be less than the minimum fee mentioned in the tender. We should not quote less than the minimum fee prescribed, even if it is for other services, for something which is not reserved for CA. So if you look here, they have been asking for internal audit, tax audit, secretarial audit. Internal audit, they have given all the options. Tax audit, secretarial audit, they were asking for CA and then CS respectively. These guidelines are applicable from April 2016. This is a old tender. No, this is not old. This is the new one, but you cannot respond for the tax audit. You can definitely respond for the internal audit in this, but you cannot respond this tender in respect of tax audit because this area is reserved for us, for the chartered accountants in practice. You should not respond in case of tax audit. However, since internal audit, it has been available that everybody can come. They were asking for the firms or LLP, even the proprietors of the CA, CS, and the cost and management accountant. Since it is open for other professionals as well, you can respond to internal for this tender in respect of internal audit only, but not in respect of tax audit. Hope this is clear to all. Publication of books, articles, or presentation. So what are the conditions where, so people consider publishing of a book, article, or giving a presentation as where they can advertise themselves. They can be known to more people so that people can approach them based on their expertise, which they are showcasing through that article, book, or the presentation. Any chartered accountant is allowed to do that. For a book or article or presentation, yes, it is allowed. However, the only restriction is that we are not allowed to put or disclose our connection with the CA firm. So I can put my name, I can say that I'm a chartered accountant, but where I'm working, I cannot write that. I cannot write my designation and my connection with the CA firm where I'm working. So if you see, this is one of the page from CA Journal of this April 23. They wrote only CA name, and they says that they're the member of the institute and can be reached on so and so email ID. Nowhere it has been given where they are working, what is their designation, what they are doing, their location, nothing. Right? So you cannot disclose your connection with the CA firm. Whatever you do, you cannot disclose. This is all permitted. You can advertise through this so that people will know you that yes, you are having expertise in this area. Those who are reading this article will understand that both the authors, they are having expertise in the corporate governance. They are working on that part. People can connect based on their requirement in this area, but yes, they are not allowed to put anything else. Next is issue of the greeting cards or invitations. Can I send the invitation or the greeting cards? Yes, I'm allowed to share. I can put my name, my CA firm name, but I can circulate it only to my clients, to my relatives, or the friends. Am I allowed to use the designation chartered accountant and the name of the firm? Both are allowed on these cards or the invitation. I can definitely do that. What is not allowed is I'm not allowed to write the professional designation status and qualifications there. Right? What is my designation? As in, if I'm a partner, I'm not allowed to write that I'm a partner. I can simply say CA Sana Baqai and put the name of my firm where I'm working. I'm not allowed to put my qualifications there. I'm not allowed to put my professional designations there. So if I ask a question, if I put one invitation and post it on the social media, on my Facebook handle, am I allowed to do that or not? Since it says that I'm allowed to invite people or put all the details on a greeting card, but only to my clients or relatives or friends. Or maybe can I circulate that on WhatsApp? So now the time has changed from the physical to the virtual one. So can I invite people or put the greeting cards on WhatsApp with my name and my firm's name on it? Am I allowed to do that? Yes, definitely, because it has been considered that if I'm sending something to people in WhatsApp or Facebook, everyone is my friend. So either a person could be a client, relative, or friend, right? So not to the general public, or I can just share it with everybody or maybe the whole mass database, which is data is available here and there. I'm not allowed to do that. I'm not allowed to invite. I'm not allowed to put any greeting cards to those who I don't know. So now the next question is, my firm is, say, celebrating a silver jubilee or a golden jubilee. Can I advertise that? In general, it is not permitted to advertise the events organized by a CA firm. It is not at all permitted if I'm, say, organizing some kind of event in my office, maybe a Diwali party or a Holi party. I'm not allowed to advertise that. There is a celebration of some CA firm on their 50th anniversary. Can they do that? Yes. They are allowed to advertise that. It can be in any newspaper or a newsletter or on the social media network. They can definitely put this. The exception has been given for the silver jubilee, golden jubilee, platinum, or centenary celebrations. But other events, you're not allowed to advertise. The next is sponsoring activities. Can I sponsor an event? Definitely nobody stops you. But you cannot put the name. The sponsorship means advertisement only. So a CA in practice or a CA firm. So CA Institute has clearly clarified that chartered accountant in their personal capacity or their firm, both of them cannot sponsor any event. A lot of events keep on happening, but they can definitely sponsor those events who are conducted by the POU of ICI with the prior approval of the CPE directorate. So if you see, I was remembering the last World Congress, which happened in Mumbai in November 22, where there was a big exhibition hall where a lot of chartered accountant firms were advertising. They had their stalls. They were showcasing their services, etc. That was permitted because the event was that the prior approval of the CP directorate was taken. It was organized by our institute. We are not going anywhere else. And most of the people who were participating, sorry. So most of the people who were participating in that event, they were so most of the people who were participating there, they were chartered accountants. Of course, people from other countries were also there, but every one of them were the chartered accountants in their respective countries. You can definitely sponsor an event of CA Institute. Sponsoring CSR activities. It is being seen that many people are involved in a lot of CSR activities. Those who are in practice, they also does that. But what happened is, since in this CSR activities, people can donate, get involved in those drives. And CA Institute does not discourage being part of any CSR activity. A CA can sponsor, but they can only do it in their own name, in their own individual name. And they are allowed to prefix the CA with their name. However, mention of the firm name or CA logo is not permitted. They cannot put anything which reflects their connection with any firm. If I do that, if I am being part of any CSR activity, like if you see a lot of CSR activities has been done by our CA Institute on CA Day, I have seen that people were donating blood, they were planting the trees, or different activities, or there was Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, they were cleaning some areas. So in those activities, their individual name can definitely be there. They can mention their individual name, but they're not allowed to advertise their firm name, that with whom they are having any connection. Of course, when they're not giving the firm name, professional designation cannot also be given. So I have a question from Krupa. She said, in the invitation, there is no restriction on the different font. Yes, there is no restriction on different font on writing the name, because that is a customized version which is given to an individual. It is not that you are circulating it to the public at large. You are not putting it on some portal or otherwise. You are just giving it to certain people. So there is restriction on any font. If you see in all the advertisements, be it press release or otherwise, the font style, font type, font size, nothing has been described as such. It only says that it has to be a general one. It should not be different from others. Madheswaran asked, nowadays some chartered accountants are advertising through social media networking sites like Facebook, Insta. Is this professional misconduct? It can or cannot be, because if it amounts to solicitation of work, definitely it will be misconduct. You are not allowed to do that. But if it is within the what is permitted to us, then there is no problem. Are displaying the firm name and address with a CA logo on the WhatsApp DP is prohibited or allowed? Display of the firm name and address with a CA logo on WhatsApp DP, there is no clarification, because only those who are having your number and accessing that will know that you are a chartered accountant or knows your name. Otherwise, unless I have your number, how can I see your WhatsApp DP? So I don't think there is any problem in that. See, if you see whatever has been prescribed, the main and the most important thing what has been given is that there should not be any kind of solicitation. You should not reach to the people. People can definitely reach you. Nothing should be that you are making the roving inquiries or you are connecting with people, you are bothering them to get the work, right? The idea is to maintain the dignity of the profession. that people should come to you. You can, of course, display anything within your office premises. No problem. Your photos, your services, whatever, because only limited people are having an access. Here, the restriction has been given where you are putting it in general, right? You are reaching the mass. So if somebody is putting some information on the Facebook or WhatsApp, it is only for the limited people. Say if I do not have more than 100 friends in a Facebook, who else will be able to see? No one. Coming to the next one, advertisement of teaching or coaching activities by members. It is very common among chartered accountants that they are teaching somewhere, they are having their sessions, they are attending sessions one or the other way. They appear as a guest faculty, and at some places, they do it their own tutorship. Irrespective of the subject, irrespective of which level you are teaching. You may be a chartered accountant teaching to class 11th and 12th, that's fine. You may be teaching to graduation students or CA students, CS students, or MBA students. Here, it is not mentioned to whom you are teaching, right? Doesn't matter what you are allowed to do as a teacher. So CA Institute prohibits any, so there is a general permission and there is certain activities by a member in practice. If you are a member in practice, you need to take a specific permission if you are teaching to people and in any institute, which is not the part of the CA Institute, right? General permission is there if you are into a private tutorship, as in, say, if it is my classes. So if I just write Sana classes and I ask people to come and take the classes, I'm doing it in my individual capacity. I'm permitted, subject to certain restriction. As in, the restriction is that it should not be more than 25 hours in a week, and I am not allowed to advertise. I'll take you through that in this slide. So as a teacher, I have a general permission if I do the tutorship myself, or I take session in CA Institute, maybe through a branch or any committee otherwise, right? So that is permitted. A general permission, no specific written permission is required. However, a specific permission is required if I am getting associated with any institute which is not part of the CA Institute. The advertisement of the coaching or teaching activities may amount to indirect solicitation and is not allowed. Say if I am teaching in XYZ Institute and that institute is advertising for this, so it is an indirect solicitation. This restriction applies only and only to those members who are holding COP. We are talking in all these slides, those who are in practice. Those who does not have COP, they can definitely do that. So keeping both the things, having COP and teaching together, that is not permitted. They're not permitted to advertise. Or say if I advertise my association with any coaching institute or teaching activities through hoardings, posters, or banner, or any other mean, not allowed. Clearly not allowed. However, what I'm allowed to do is to put a signboard outside the coaching institute or the teaching premises, mentioning the name of that institute, contact details, subject taught therein only. All right. But not allowed in case if they put the hoardings or the posters otherwise. And for that size of the signboard, which I'm permitted to use outside my premises, the coaching institute, you need to follow the same guidelines which is there for the CA Institute signboard, that I'll be also covering shortly in the upcoming slides. So same way you can do that. So there is a chartered accountant. So if he is not holding COP, then it's fine. They can put their photo, whatever name of the institute, they can put their name, what they're teaching, that's okay. But if he is into full-time practice, if he is a CA in practice, then he is not allowed to do this. Can I share my profile with the prospective clients? Somebody asked me, how about the CA firms having website and firm address updated on Google Map? Yes, they are allowed to do that because it is only a navigation. Google Map is just only for the navigation, and you are not typically advertising yourself there. And listing on the websites is permitted. I'll be taking it up a little more in detail while we will be coming on clause 7. That topic is covered. In case if you feel, then we'll talk about it later. So sharing firm profile with the prospective client, am I allowed to do that? Yes. So wherein I'm putting all my details, what my firm is doing, where I'm putting the logo and putting all the information, how many employees I have, what all successfully we have delivered so far, my experience, my niche areas, etc. It is allowed only and only if it is asked by the prospective client. See, the logic is if, of course, before somebody hires you, they want to know more about you. So if somebody asked that please share your profile, you can do that. But you can just keep on sharing your profile where you think that you might get some work. So that is not at all permitted. If somebody is specifically asking, you can definitely share. See, everything in for us for C in practice works on pull mode, not on a push mode. Pull and push mode, the difference between the two is if somebody asks you, they want to know more about you, you're allowed to share the information. But you cannot go and talk to them and you push your information to somebody else, be it on a website or in any offline manner or otherwise. It is not permitted. So television or movie credits. Have you ever seen the name of the chartered accountants appearing on the screens after the movie ends? Yes, I have seen it multiple times and feel very happy that they're even thanking the chartered accountants who are doing their audit. The question is it allowed? Let's see. So if you see, the name of the CA is mentioned like all others. If you see, look at the screen, they wrote the CA, they put the whole finance team name, and then the CA with the name. Or they can always put the firm name as well. But here, the name of the CA is available. So is it allowed? Yes, it is allowed. The only restriction is it has to be in the same way where all other credits are appearing. We should not highlight or put it differently. So name of the firm or the member, both of them are allowed. There is no restriction that we cannot put. The only restriction is that it should not look different from others, from other entries in the credit. So since so far here the same font, same style, it is going in the same way, no problem at all. There is no misconduct in this. Soliciting professional work by making roving inquiries. Doing the cold callings. You get some data, started talking to people just to find out if they get some work, if they want to connect with you, what you are doing and otherwise. It is not permitted. Roving inquiries amounts to professional misconduct. I keep on receiving a lot of emails and WhatsApp, and I'm sure it is not from the practicing chartered accountants, but certain companies, the consulting companies, those who keep on asking for GST registration, for ITR filing, for certain information like for trademark and patent registration, etc., etc. I keep on receiving multiple emails from consulting. So as a CA, can we also do that? No, we are not allowed. This will amount to the roving inquiries, which we'll be sending to the prospective clients, just to ask if they need our services. Roving inquiries will amount to professional misconduct, and that's why it is not allowed at all. So the next is acceptance of original professional work by a member emanating from the client introduced to him by another member. What does this really mean? With respect to the previous slide, Renal asked, in television discussion, the names of panelists of CA firms are highlighted. See, it is not the credit. That is your introduction. The difference is between the two. One is introduction, another one is the credit. You are not appearing anywhere in that movie, but they just put your name, right? So it is completely two different things. So coming back to this, acceptance of original professional work by a member emanating from the client introduced by him to another member. Am I allowed to do that? No, we are not allowed to do that. What does this really mean? So for example, I referred you a client. So that client is mine. I'm doing their audit work. Since you are my very good friend, and I asked you to do some kind of say ROC work for them. All right. You have accepted the assignment and the client has started interacting with you for the ROC. That's fine. There is no problem at all. Till this point, no problem. Now, my client directly comes to you. They asked you to offer the secretarial audit services. That will you be able to provide that? What you are supposed to do in that case? You should tell the client to come through me only, not directly to them. So the client was originally introduced by me. So any work should be routed through me. If it is not there, then it amounts to professional misconduct. The idea behind putting this restriction is that there should not be any poaching of the client. That if I asked you to do one work, then they will come back and ask even those work which is conducted by me. They might ask you to do the audit as well in future, right? So the idea is to stop poaching of the clients. That is why this restriction has been put in, that you are not allowed to accept any work without my intervention in this case, right? Hope this is clear to you all. Giving public interviews. So the previous question which was asked, that while coming on any discussion on our TV, am I allowed to put my name or my firm name in it? Definitely, it will not, but it should not be a advertisement. You're not allowed to put the best CA firm in Bangalore, or best CA firm in Pune, or best CA firm in Delhi, or a well-renowned firm in Delhi. You are not allowed to do that. Apart from that, you should not also highlight your professional attainments. What you have done so far, whatever professionally you have done, you're not allowed to share. You can appear in interviews, you can definitely go public on internet, on radio or TV, any mode. That is perfectly fine, but your professional attainment should not be highlighted. And what you are talking should not amount to any advertisement or solicitation of work. Next is members or the firms who publish advertisement under box numbers. So what is box numbers? It is very common otherwise to use the post office post box number so and so. So generally where people don't want to highlight their name, they put the advertisement under an anonymous box number. Am I allowed to do that? Can I, without sharing my exact address, I'll just put it, so PO box number so and so, Delhi, put it there. Is it allowed? No. We are not allowed to do any advertisement even under the box numbers in the newspapers. We are not allowed to do. It is completely prohibited. And when I'm saying it is prohibited, if you do so, it will amount to professional misconduct under clause 6. Next is educational videos. With the trend of the YouTube and Insta, Facebook coming up with all the, everybody started putting their educational videos in. I have seen a lot of people who are either interviewing on social media or just coming live and talking about giving information. So that's very good. Am I allowed to make such kind of educational videos or not? The first question. Am I allowed to do that? Yes, I can. At least I can make those educational videos. I can upload on the internet on any platform. It is not prohibited, but only to the extent that it is an educational video, not an advertisement. For example, towards the end of the video, you ask them, please do share, like, comment, and visit my website. No, you are not, you can't do that. You can definitely make a video, upload it on the internet, simply giving the information. What you are not allowed to do is no reference to the firm where the member is a partner or a firm. I cannot say where I'm a partner. I'm not allowed to do that. Whether I'm a partner or a proprietor or my firm name, and no contact detail or website address should be given. Apart from that, I'm not allowed to say where exactly I should as in come on my website, do comment. Of course, you can ask for the comments, no problem. If you like it or not like it, that's fine. But sharing my YouTube channel, subscribe it, like it, no. Please visit my website, so and so, no, not allowed. If you say, if you find it somewhere, you may report it because it is a professional misconduct. Clearly a professional misconduct where you are asking people to visit your website or go on your Facebook page there where they can find a lot of information about you. If somebody is interested, if somebody likes you, what you're talking, they can definitely put the information on Google and find you. That is something else. That is again a pull mode, not a push mode, right? If you are asking people to come, then it will be a push mode, which is not common. Of course, if I like what the speaker is talking about and I want to know more about him, how can I approach him? I can put that information on a Google and search it, connect with him, whatever. That's perfectly fine. No problem at all. As an introduction, so Ranjita asked, how about going as a chief guest in some school and any other public function? And in welcome note, they mention all the professional and personal achievements. Can we do so? Until and unless it is not amounting to solicitation of the work or your advertisement, you are allowed to do that. And moreover, they are introducing you, you are not doing, you are just going there as a chief guest. You just need to ensure that while you are sharing your profile, while you are talking about them, about yourself, then give the information in such a way that it should not amount to advertisement. For example, say if I put it that this way, that I went to a school where I have been introduced as the best text planner in the country, right? Such kind of words I should not be introduced. Hope this question is answered. So we have finished clause 6, where it was talking about solicitation of work, what I'm allowed to do, what we are not allowed to do. I have explained almost whatever possible. In case if you find anything more, you can definitely ask the question. I'm there till 8 today, or you may reach out on my email ID if you have any question in future as well. So coming on to the clause 7, the next clause of part 1 of the first schedule of CA Act. Let's see, what does it says? It talk about advertisement by CA in practice. It says a chartered accountant in practice shall be deemed to be guilty of professional misconduct if he advertises his professional attainments or services. If I say what I have achieved in, say, last 17 years of my practice, or what all services I can give, not permitted. Or uses any designation or expression other than the CA on professional document, visiting cards, letterhead, or the signboard. Signboard means the office signboard. Unless it be a degree of a university established by a law in India or recognized by central government, or a title indicating membership of an institute of CA or any other institution that has been recognized by the central government or maybe recognized by the council. So what I'm not allowed to do is I cannot use my designation. I cannot put otherwise any other expression other than a chartered accountant on my professional document. I cannot say that I am a cost accountant or a cost management accountant if I am holding a COP. If I am a chartered accountant in practice where I'm holding a full-time COP, then in that case, I'm not allowed to say that I'm a company secretary or I'm a cost and management accountant, or maybe I cannot even say that I am a tax consultant. I am say corporate lawyer, anything like that. Not allowed. What I can use is only and only chartered accountant. However, I can put my qualifications. I can definitely put my qualifications, but the qualification should be the Indian one. If you see, all these qualifications which has been mentioned is the Indian recognized qualification. So if I have done BCom from Delhi University, I can put that. If I've done LLB from another university which is recognized by the government, yes, I can do that. I can put it. It also says that the membership of the institute. So membership of the institute, of course, as you all are aware that CA Institute, we are not getting any kind of degree. Once we qualify, we become the member of the institute, right? Similarly, for company secretary and cost management accountant, we became the member of those institutes because all the three institutes are set up under the Act of a Parliament. We became member. We do not have any degree, so-called degree. We receive only the membership certificate or the certificate of practice if we are doing the practice. So I can definitely put after my name CA, CS, LLB, BCom, like that. What about if I do, say, CPA Australia? CA Institute is recognizing that. They're having an MOU as well. They're also having an MOU with the Chartered Accountant Institute of England and Wales, ICWAE. Am I allowed to do that? Yes. CA Institute has recognized. It is given in the last line, or maybe recognized by the council. These are recognized by the council. A South African Chartered Accountant Institute is also recognized. These three are recognized. You can put those. Other foreign qualifications, you're not allowed to put. Since it is not recognized by the central government or not the institute, which is the central government. Council has given 3 that you can definitely put. A restriction has been eased a little bit. A proviso is there to clause 7, which says that provided that a member in practice may advertise through a write-up. I can give a write-up, setting out the services provided by him or his firm and particular of his firm subject to such guidelines as may be issued by the council. We will discuss this guidelines for the advertisement through write-up later. So clause 7 clearly says no advertisement. Clause 6 talking about solicitation of work. Clause 7 talk about advertisement by the CA in practice. Let's see what has been there in the advertisement guidelines, which has been issued by ICA. These were issued in respect of the write-up, the part which is permitted to us. I got a question from Renal. Foreign CA firms use social media, example LinkedIn, Facebook, etc. Why ICI has imposed restriction? That's what I started in the beginning, that CA Institute has put in restriction to ensure that all the chartered accountants should be at a parity. Say, for example, if you're not that wealthy, if every one of us are allowed to put an advertisement, just think about the top 50 or the 100 firms of the country, those who are very cash rich, the kind of advertisement they can do, which we might not be as a new chartered accountant or a small firm or a proprietor. We don't have that much deep pockets that we can do that. Of course, CA foreign firms and foreign firms are not allowed to do any attestation function. They can do whatever they want, social media advertisement, whatever, they are not governed by the CA Act. We members are governed by the CA Act. Hope this has been answered. How CA firms will get new clients without advertisement? You can definitely get good clients based on your own networking. You are allowed to go and meet people, talk about one-on-one. That's fine. Exchange your visiting cards. That's okay. Expand your network, which is very much permitted. There is no restriction that you cannot exchange your visiting cards. You cannot talk to people and talk about what services you're offering. That is again permitted. See, the thing is that while we are meeting people, we are going here and there, that's fine. You can talk about people to one-on-one basis, that's fine. You are meeting people, talking about what in which area you are practicing, it's okay. See, the educational videos, which is the new way of indirect advertisement, of course, where you can showcase your expertise, that you are having expertise in, say, GST or income tax or a ESG area, or maybe forensic audit, right? Or the internal audit. If you're talking, keep on talking about it. People do inquire, people do ask for more information. See, our profession always and always promote knowledge. Those who are having a good knowledge, those who can execute the things well, definitely get the work by word of mouth. If my client is happy, he will definitely refer another client to me. If somebody is not happy, then it's okay. So coming back to this, the guidelines, what we are allowed to do, CA Institute clause 7 clearly says we can advertise through a write-up. What exactly is write-up? And what should be there, what should not be there in the write-up? It has been given in this guideline. The member of the firm should ensure that the content of the write-up are true to the best of their knowledge and belief and are in conformity with these guidelines. Write-up means writing of particulars according to the information given in the guidelines, what exactly you can do, what you can display in, and you can put that write-up anywhere, be it electronic media or a print media, newspaper, journal, magazine, website, social media, no problem. And it could be done in both ways, in push as well as pull mode. It is very important. This is the only thing which has been given in push as well as pull mode, both, where you can put it. The write-up, it can have your signatures, the name of the member, name or the partner who is signing on behalf of the firm, place and the date for this write-up. So the write-up, what exactly it can include, what all information. So we have two slides for this. One is for the member. If I am advertising myself, then how can I do that? What all information can be there in that write-up? It says you can put your name as CA, So I can put my name as CA Sana Baqai. I can put my membership number, my age, date of becoming ACA/FCA, date from which I'm holding COP, my all the recognized qualifications. Recognized, I just talk about it. Languages known, my phone number, basically all my contact detail, my professional address, my website, email ID. I can also use a CA logo in that. A passport style photograph. See, there is a difference. Passport size and a passport style photograph. So passport style photograph, when I'm saying, it has to be up to almost what I'm visible in this screen in front of you, right? The size could be in proportion to the say the kind of write-up I'm putting, or the information which I'm putting there. It could be a smaller, even a little bigger. That can be given, but it can only be a passport style photograph, as in just a little below the neck area. That's it. You cannot have a full length photo. What we just seen previously in one of that poster which I shared on the coaching institute one, where a person is standing completely. No, that is not permitted. What you can do is just a small size, a small style, not size. Size could be bigger. That's fine. Even if you put that passport style photograph in half of the page, it's okay. Details of employees, say how many employees I have, those who are chartered accountant or other professionals or articles or any of the other employees. Name of the employees and their particulars can also be stated in the similar manner, the way these details are included, the services provided, and also the position held as director, MD, or a management consulting company registered with the institute. CA Institute, you can also register your management consulting company. If you are not, don't want to practice, do the attestation function. So management consulting company is another thing. You can Google and know more about it, that you can register it with the institute. Or maybe we can have another session on that, where we can talk about how we can register a management consulting company or expand our practice if we want to done away with our audit and attestation function. Here you cannot do any audit. So a write-up, it can include only and only this much information, not beyond this. You cannot add any other information related to you. As in, you cannot add your professional attainments. Say, for example, if you got some awards, if you were able to present somewhere else, right? You are not allowed to do that. Say, if I'm having different kind of, say, I cannot even say that I keep on delivering lectures with CA Institute. I cannot say anything like this, that I'm on board on so and so. No, I'm part of this committee, that committee. No, I'm faculty here and there. Not allowed. But I can, of course, put the information where I'm director or a MD in a management consulting company registered with the institute. If I'm advertising for the member, if I'm putting it in a write-up for a member, I am not even allowed to put my firm name. If you see, nowhere it talk about the firm name. It applies generally to those who are running the proprietorship. Say, how about the CA forms? CA forms can put all these things, as in they can put the name of the firm, and they can always put the name as well as the word chartered accountants with it, the firm registration number, the year of establishment, professional address, their working hours, they can put their mobile number, email ID, website, everything is possible. Even the number of partners and the number of partners with their photo can also be stated. For employees and partners, they can put all those information which we just talked about in the previous slide. They can use the CA logo, they can put the employees detail, etc. Services provided, and apart from that, they can also say if they are affiliated with a network registered with ICAI. There are certain international networks. You cannot talk about those networks. You cannot say that you are a network form of so and so foreign network. You are not allowed to do that. CA Institute has issued one press release for those firms that they have given an advisory. They have given an advisory to all the firms to remove any kind of foreign affiliation with the CA firms. If you see, if you say any big four or the foreign firms, they are not doing anything. Of course, people know, they tend to know that yes, it's a part of this network, but officially they are not putting those names anywhere. You can definitely register a network with ICI and have all the firms associated with them. So there are certain more conditions for this write-up. Of course, that's the information which you can put in that write-up, which I just shared. It also says that the write-up should not be false or misleading and bring the profession into disrepute. You cannot put any information which in general you do not believe that it is true. And should not claim superiority over any other firm. In any way, you cannot say I am the best. The best tax consultants in Delhi. No. Or the largest in Delhi. No. This way you are claiming superiority over others. Those who are doing, they are not supposed to do that. They are guilty of professional misconduct. Generally, the professional misconducts are highlighted when any complaint has been filed with the institute for those firms. The write-up should not be indecent or sensational or otherwise of nature which may likely to bring profession into disrepute. No disrepute to the profession. The language of that write-up should be good. It should not be very sensational. Sensational, like there are a lot of things which we can include in that just to include the excitement. It may be indecent. It may looks like that you are gaining undue attention. No, not anything which brings disrepute to the profession, not allowed to do. It should not contain any testimonial or endorsements. If you are giving any write-up, you're not allowed to put any testimonial on that. You cannot say my clients are saying this about me. No, not allowed. As well as it should not contain any representation that may like to cause a person to misunderstand or to be deceived. Anything which creates some kind of confusion, wherein you're making such kind of statement which is little misleading, or people may misunderstood that. You can say only firm in Delhi who is doing forensic audit or fraud detection only firm in Delhi for fraud detection. No, that is extremely a misleading or a misunderstanding of the people, right? And the write-up should not violate any provision of the act or the rules made thereunder. So, of course, you can put all these information, that's fine, but you cannot violate any other rule where you are, say, offering some kind of commission to any other person that, yes, we can work on a commission basis, is that? No, not allowed. Anything which has been prohibited otherwise, you cannot include in write-up. There are certain more conditions. You are also not allowed to use any monogram of any kind or any catchy word. No catchy words permitted. I've seen certain advertisements, you can say, or people putting some information where they use the catchy words, even in their name or their visiting cards, or they use their own, they write their own CA firm name in such a way that it is giving a different look. The way they're writing their firm name, it looks like their own monogram or the logo. So they're not allowed to do that. You are not allowed to disclose your client's name, be it past or present, doesn't matter. Here, this is the only thing where the restriction on the font size is there, that your font should not exceed 14 points. The size of the font is restricted in write-up only. Everywhere else, no such restriction, but in write-up, yes. Here, only the font size is restricted. You can use any style. There is no problem in that. Most important thing, it should not contain any information other than what is stated above. You are not allowed to put any other information in this. Restricted to those points which we have just discussed. You cannot mention your achievements or awards or any other position held. And it is mandatory to quote your membership number or the firm number. One more very deadly thing. CA Institute may issue a reasoned directive for removal or withdrawal of the whole write-up or any part thereof at any time. If they feel that you have done something which amounts to advertisement, which bring disrepute, they can always ask you to remove it. Do it properly. You can display your services, no problem. You can do it on a push mode or a pull mode. Put all those information. That's it. Or maybe you can, of course, trim down that information, but you cannot go beyond those points. You can start circulating. You can do that, put it on a WhatsApp. You can put it anywhere, because this write-up can be sent to anybody on a push or a pull mode. No problem. So if you see the information which has been there, it looks like it's the CV or the resume of a person. Yes. So now coming to the next part, other designations, with whether they are allowed to use those designations or not. No. We cannot use any designation like income tax consultant, cost accountant, company secretary, or a corporate lawyer, or member of parliament, municipal councillor, or any other functionary in addition to that of a chartered accountant. While we are holding COP, we are in practice. We are not allowed to use any other designation other than chartered accountant. However, we can mention insolvency professional or a registered valuer on the visiting card or the letterhead, which is permitted because these two are done with CA Institute only. That is why it is permitted. So you can put the name. If this is like your visiting card, then you cannot write with your name that you are a tax consultant. Or few people have wrote with their name, they are SAP consultant. So if they are holding COP, it amounts to professional misconduct. Or a corporate lawyer. That's what people would like to use along with their name. Not allowed. How about using online third-party platforms? Let me take up previous questions. I missed it. Can CA firm give photos of partners in their website? Yes, definitely. You can do that. There is no restriction. However, the photo should be passport style photograph. Can we become member of business networking group? No, not at all. We cannot be. There is a clear cut for the BNI. There is a clear instruction that you cannot be part of BNI. But otherwise, Chamber of Commerce, etc., since the role of BNI is different, there you need to refer work within the group. Then it amounts to solicitation of work. In Chamber of Commerce or a Rotary Club, there is no such restriction. You just be the member. Nobody is offering you the work. It is a part of a networking, but in a different manner. Where you know people, there is no restriction. It is primarily, these are for knowledge sharing or the policy making bodies. So you can be part of that, no problem. Can CA firm photos of the website? Already answered. Write-up can be added in Google page. Definitely, it can be added in Google page. There is no restriction on that. There's no problem at all. You can definitely do that. Because it is on a pull and push both. Is there any size font restriction to keep name board outside? Do we have, I'll take this up, the signboard. Can WhatsApp be used by CA firms? Definitely you can use the WhatsApp who is restricting you. Your presentation is unique, wonderful. Thank you so much. Chinta Raghunandan, you asked about the signboard. I'll take it up a little later. It has been duly covered in my upcoming slides. So now coming to online third-party platform. So there are certain platforms where we can list ourselves. And are we allowed to do that? Does it amount to advertisement? Any idea about it? I can definitely do only the consulting and the advisory through those websites. There are a lot of websites, those who are even certain banks, NBFCs, and otherwise as well. They're coming up with certain sites where they are referring and giving information to their clients, of course, on a paid basis, not they're charging for it. I hope you understand what websites I'm talking about. They are enrolling chartered accountants themselves onto the back end. They're having a team and they are asking people and not sharing the exact name of the people who are giving the advice. They're saying that we are giving you the best advice from the best of the experts. You can do that. However, on that website, the contact address of the CA is not provided, nor such website will contain any material which advertises professional attainment or status of such chartered accountant. Except the fact that they're making that they're the chartered accountants, it's okay. Beyond that, no. They cannot even give my personal details on the website, right? So there are certain website who does this, those who ask you to file the returns, and on the back end, they hired CA on a retainership basis or on an assignment basis, where they're giving you work, asking you to do the consulting or advisory or filing of returns, something like that. That's fine. So consulting and advisory is okay. but you cannot do any audit and attestation function under the online third-party platforms. You can use the word, they can mention on the website that we are chartered accountant, but the name of the CA firm with suffix chartered accountant will not be permitted. If they are putting, say, my firm name, so and so, and XYZ and Associates, XYZ and Company, that's fine. But they cannot use XYZ and Company chartered accountants. They cannot use that suffix with the name of the firm. Next is, there are certain application-based services provider aggregators, as in what they do is, so one is the online third-party platform, which we just talked about. Here, they provide the service and we work on a backend. We are not procuring the clients. All right. What we are doing is we are just advising or consulting those clients, which is there on those. It is the third-party platform. All right. Here, when we are talking about application-based services, service provider aggregator means it is where people themselves list themselves and get the work. So the best example here is Urban Company. What they do is they list all the professionals and then they give the company whenever anybody does the booking. All right. So it is not permissible for CA to list themselves with online application-based provider aggregator, where other categories are also listed. In Urban Company, earlier they started, but later CA Institute clarified that we cannot do anything with Urban Club. We cannot list ourselves there. We are not allowed to do our listing with those service provider aggregator where everyone else is there. However, if it is exclusive for the chartered accountant, there is no restriction. Like the previous one, where they can have, say, income tax consultant, where they're having internal auditors, where they're having otherwise. So, but again, you cannot do audit and attestation functions there. Even if you're getting listed, you're not allowed to do that. Publication in a name or firm name by a chartered accountants in the telephone or other directories. One of the best example which everybody asks for is Just Dial, because a lot of information, people put their information on Just Dial. Am I allowed to do that? Yes, I am allowed, only if it has a separate section for the chartered accountant. I can be listed as a chartered accountant in a separate category. I cannot be listed in an income tax consultant or a GST consultant. The firm or the CA should belong to that city where the directory is being published. If it is a physical directory, I cannot publish my name if I am not belonging to that city or the town. Say if the list of CAs, if the directory is being issued for Delhi, I can include my name. But if it is there for the Bangalore, I cannot get myself listed. Since Just Dial is available everywhere and similar kind of platforms, Just Dial being the oldest and the first one in that category, that's why everybody knows it. So online, there is no restriction. You can definitely do that. And the thing is, the order of the entries should be in alphabetical order. It cannot be like based on my priority. If I feel no, my name should come a little ahead or come a little lower. No, it has to be in the alphabetical order only. And the directory, the name which is being included in the directory, it should not be made differential or prominent, giving impression of a publicity or advertisement. So I'm giving you another example. If you go to Just Dial, they also give the paid services where they will put your name on the top. You're not allowed to do that. You can definitely list yourself, but cannot put your name on the top after making certain payment. These entries should not be restricted and should be open to all chartered accountants. Where you are putting your name, it should be open to all. Maybe restriction could be based on just a city or a town or the state, but it is not that it is restricted for few, that you are just publishing it for a very limited people. Even if it is, say, a lot of people consider even area-wise directories are being issued. Their local players, those who publish yellow pages, such kind of people also include the name and the directory of the whole area. RW is published. No problem at all. You can put it in a CA category if they're publishing it. Or maybe in your individual capacity, that's fine. CA can also include their names in the trade or social directories. That's perfectly fine. We can include our name in those social media platforms. Appearance of CA on electronic media. Very interesting, including internet. So we can definitely appear on a TV or a film or internet or a radio. There is no problem at all. We can appear. We can be described as a chartered accountant. There is no restriction. Our special qualification or a specific knowledge. If, say, for example, I have been asked to appear on a TV for a show where they're discussing about income tax or a budget, right? If it is a budget talk, I've been invited, I participated in that. So they can definitely say that I'm into practice for 17 years into direct tax, and I have done so many things. Of course, since it is being relevant to that, they can talk about it, about my qualifications and my knowledge in that area. Firm name can also be mentioned over there. Somebody asked in the beginning, can we display our name while on the TV? My name and my firm name, both can be displayed, no problem. However, any exaggerated claim or any kind of comparison is not permissible. So for example, if I say that I'm doing this, some other are not doing this, naming them or telling them, or I may make some exit that, say, if I am handling the cases, I'm getting 100% success in all the assessments, right? Or say 99% your case will be settled in income tax or in GST. Such kind of claims I'm not allowed to make. I cannot do that I am settling 100%, 99%, 99% success rate or 100% success rate. Such kind of statements I cannot make anywhere, be it TV or internet or a radio, whatever. And whatever I'm talking about should not be promotional for my firm. I cannot say, okay, fine, we are talking about budget, that's fine. Now, if you need services, you can come and talk to me. I'm talking about this, I have done so and so for this. So you cannot indirectly solicit the clients. The objective should be very clear. Okay. Hope this is all clear. Next, I have been asked about this, the size of the signboard and what I can do on the on that. Bills and hoardings, not allowed. I cannot put any billboard or hoarding anywhere. That will amount to advertisement. That we have already covered in clause 6. Now talk about the signboard. What kind of signboards I can put in my outside my office? Is there any size restriction? Any idea about it? No, there is no size restriction. It has been given at the discretion that an appropriate visibility and illumination can be made. You cannot do anything like shopkeepers, like a huge glow sign or a light board on a large size boards, which traders or shopkeepers. Otherwise, what would be the difference between them and us? We belong to a very reputed profession, and we should carry that reputation. That is the most important. Can CA put their nameplate at their residence? Definitely they can put their name, and they can use the word chartered accountant. Maybe I can always put my nameplate as CA Sana Baqai outside my residence. That's okay. But I'm not allowed to use the firm name. I cannot write CA Sana Baqai XYZ and Associates. I cannot say that. So here are certain examples where people have put in the information, the kind of information they have put in. The first one, a little more illuminated, effectively not allowed. It looks like that it is a shopkeeper or a trader's board, not permitted. Second one, this one, this looks very much appropriate in a sense that it contains a proper CA logo, a good size, everything. This looks pretty good, and there is no problem in this. The third one, I'm putting the firm name, my name with my qualification, and also the services offered. Not allowed. I cannot display my services on my signboard. This is very clear. Can CA display services in office? I cannot do it outside, but I can definitely do it inside my premises. See, these are the examples of professional misconduct. I cannot do that. Why? This amounts to advertisement. Somebody who is passing through will see what is the services I'm offering. This is clear case of professional misconduct. But if I put services inside the office, fine. Why? What difference will it make? See, when somebody entered your office, has the willingness to know you or might already know you, you can give a brief. That's fine, no problem. Outside, it amounts to advertisement. Outside office, no, clear no. If anybody files a complaint against any of these, they will be guilty of misconduct. This is for sure. So it looks like something like a kirana shop or something where you are putting your complete rate list outside. Moving on to the next part, very important and interesting. This is what all of us should be very careful about, the use of logo. I hope questions related to the size of the signboard has been duly answered. There is no restriction on the size or the font restriction. You can put anything. There is no problem. The type, of course, it should not be a glow signboard or something which is like a shopkeeper. And outside, It's okay, no problem. You can put. Use of CA logo is very, very important. So all of us are aware about this logo. A CA in blue with a upside down tick in green. Can we make our own logo for the CA? Maybe something little more attractive, a little more fashionable. Am I allowed to do any of these? Absolutely no. Clear, big no. We are not allowed to use anything else except what has been prescribed for us. Use of CA logo. We can definitely use this. You know, one or two very, very important things. What I have also noticed in this logo while people are using it, it has to be this only, the blue color and this green color. People keep on changing these colors. CA Institute has given the color combination. So CMYK is the code normally what is being used. So if you see the color of the logo, it has to be this only. When you make a color, if you use it on anything, give this information, the printer or whosoever can use these colors while making your stationery, etc. Blue is specified, green is specified, because there's a lot of shades of green and blue. If you make a little bit variation, so Institute has prescribed this color this way. This logo can also be in black and white if required, and they have given this black and white both that what is to be black and what is to be gray. If you see, people consider only that CA and this tick mark, that's it. They consider that as a logo. No, this outside rectangular box is a part of logo. You have to use this as it is with a white background. Even if the whole screen is black, you need to put it like this only. If you see in the previous few slides where I was showing you the signboards, people use the inner CNA, this only, the blue and the green thing only, that's it. Not this rectangle. If you're not using this rectangle, it is not a complete logo. So you should not tamper with this logo. Institute has given some do's and don'ts, what you can do. The correct logo is this. You cannot change the color. You cannot change the background. This in any manner, right? You can, if you say, okay, I'm using these two colors, no. Background, no change. If you say, okay, just one color of this whole CA, no, not permitted. You cannot rotate this. You cannot rotate to fill the whole thing. Either this way, that way, not permitted. Use this as it is. Go to CA Institute website, or maybe you can search a high definition logo. It will appear like this. Use this correct logo as it is with a rectangle outside. If ever required, you need to have a logo in black and white. This black color, black has to be 100% black, and the tick is in gray color, which is 50%. That is 50K. So while you choose the color, put this credential, you will get the right colors. This is very, very important. Now moving on to some recent decision of the board. It is not permissible for a member to use WhatsApp to send messages to make people aware about his practice, mention the services provided therein. WhatsApp messages say you cannot make people aware about your services. Can cars have CA logo? Definitely, you can have. CA Institute promotes that. Go to the branch, they will give you free of cost. The stickers are available with the institute. Go and get it. You can put it, no problem. Next question I received is, can cars have a CA logo on the front and back glasses? Definitely you can. You can either put it on the front or back or both, doesn't matter. It actually gives a matter of pride for us when you see that CA logo on a car, that you understand people are also gaining the visibility that yes, it is being visible to all those logos. You know, my both parents are doctor. I remember when we were very small, they used to put a plus sign. Now it has changed to some other one. Earlier, doctors used to use a red plus sign. So we have that plus sign on our cars or all the vehicles, they put that. And it was a matter of pride for us that yes, we are doctor, it is visible. Everybody knows this, that this signature is used by a doctor. So now that the CA Institute of late, they also released this logo. Earlier it was not there. Then I think it should be around 15 years back, they introduced this logo. And while they were giving this logo and we also feel very much proud of it while putting it on our car, that yes, this is the logo what we carry. We carry the pride of our profession. So I have already exceeded 2 minutes of what has been planned. If any of you has any question, please let me know. Although I tried to answer all the question as and when it was appearing. I'm not sure if you're allowed to unmute yourself and talk. Please feel free to do that.
No, ma'am, they cannot unmute and talk. They can only raise a question through chat box.
Okay. If you have any other questions, please let me know.
I think all the questions raised have been answered by you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for the patient listening and actually have a good interaction through these Q&As. I also enjoyed it. Definitely, I'll share this with the branch and they will circulate this presentation to all of you.
So I think we have reached the end of today's session. I wholeheartedly thank our today's speaker, CA Sana, for spending a valuable time and giving a wonderful presentation. I request our secretary to kindly give a vote of thanks for today's program.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. We always had an apprehension that chartered accountants are not supposed to be advertising, especially practicing chartered accountants while we were studying in paper number 3 in CA final year, auditing and assurance, and even after getting into CA practice also. But without actually advertising kind of situation, I mean, not literally advertising, a practicing CA would be struggling in the initial years. But now, after listening to CA Sana ji as to what to do, what not to do, we are clear in respect of what does our CA Institute has in store for us in terms of advertising guidelines, etc. It was a kind of refresher course, and the participants would have definitely enhanced their knowledge regarding the subject. Since there are no further questions unanswered in Q&A, I think we can go for closing. Madam, that was an excellent session. I thank the CA Sana ji on speaking on advertising by CA in practice on behalf of members present here in this session and chairperson and managing committee members of Bangalore branch of SISF ICI. Thank today's speaker, CA Sana Baqai. Thank you, ma'am, for taking your time out for deliberating on the subject, even in your busy schedule. I thank the members who have supported Bangalore branch in this session, and I thank Chairperson CA Divya S and all the managing committee members of Bangalore branch of SIRC of ICI for this session. With that, this session comes to an end, and with a request for continued support from you all, I, CA Manjunath M. Hallur, Secretary of Bangalore branch of SIRC of ICI, sign off for the day. Thank you one and all.
Thank you all. Thank you all the participants.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
CA Sana. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Divya, for inviting me for and interacting with all for today's session. It was really very good and an interactive session. Generally, people sleep during the webinars. I'm happy that I was getting a lot of questions.
Questions, yes, every now and then, yes, sir. Correct.
Thanks all the participants.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.